So we're doing form 9, 10, and 11, and I think this is easier than the previous chapters because first of all, we are getting used to these words now. So we're kind of expecting additional letters and stuff like that, and we're not new to it anymore. Number one. Number two, some of it, like form 9, for example, we done something similar when we done adjectives for colors and defects. So form 9 is used for color and defects. Right. 1 second. Okay. So the way it works, the form 9 works is you prefix alif, like done in some other forms. Oh, you prefix alif with and then second is there's doubling of the final radical. The final root is doubled. So it says it's in certain parts, however, the double letter is written as 2 separate letters. So I'm going to give examples, and then I'm going to explain what's the rule behind it and how we determine when to write here as a single letter with shadda and when to write here a different letter. So here, ihmarra, right? Ihmarra. So the here root letters is ha, mim, and ra. These are 3 root letters. Ha, mim, and ra. And the rule is we add alif, that's in past tense, and then the last radical, which is ra, will have a shadda. So the perfect is ihmarra, and imperfect is yahmarru. Ihmarra, yahmarru. So how do we read it? So ana ihmarartu, nahnu ihmararna, anta ihmararta. So again, if you write it here, we done it before. It starts with third person, huwa, hiya, anta, anti, ana. He always gives you these, and rest he expects you to work it out. So ana ihmarartu, anta ihmararta, right? Antuma ihmarartuma, and so forth. So some of these you see this is double letter. Yeah, shut that in, and this one we wrote it separately. So what's the rule? The rule is simple, is where normal verbs would have a the last radical will have a sukoon, right? We'll write them separately. So even if you take another verb, if you just take darabtu, for example, the last radical has sukoon. So in such cases, if that's the case, then the 2 letters will be written separately, right? If that's not the case, so if it's, for example, daraba, there's no sukoon here, so it's gonna be written as 1 letter with the shadda on it. That's the rule. So, for example, when we write the final radical, which is doubled twice separately, for ism, for imperative, for example, because it has sukoon at the end, you know, or when you say lam. So if you say lam yahma, it's gonna be rir. Lam yahmarir. So here the rule is ihmarartu, ihmararna, ihmararta, ihmarartuma, ihmarartum, ihmararti, ihmararta. Sorry, start again. Ihmarartu, ihmararna, ihmararta, ihmarartuma, ihmarartum, ihmararti, ihmarartuma, ihmararna, and so ihmartunna. Then ihmarra, ihmarra, ihmarru, ihmarrat. Again, if you need the full conjugation, here is sorry, it's done dual for here as well. So here is done huma for you. This is antuma, and this is huma, for example. And he does plural for you as well. So here he's done everything for you. This is whom. But if you also put in the website I sent you the link, you'll get the full scale. Any questions?
No, sir. Only thing when there will be a sukoon, at that time we won't have that shadda.
Yes, we will write
Otherwise,
the final radical
we'll write,
separately twice.
Yeah, and without sukoon, when it will be, we'll have shadda.
Yes.
Okay, sir, got it.
That's simple. And this time you will need, because this is be different than the what I've done before, you will need a lot of practice, because if you don't, then like a month down the line or a few weeks down the line, you will get really confused. So you need to really know that this table very, very, very well. So then he does imperfect. So again, imperfect mudari, he's doing mudari. So huwa, hiya, anta. So if you just anta, anti, this is ana, this is again he's doing dual lap, but he's going to start with third person huma. Again, this is yeah, huma, but this for I think for feminine, yes. This is huma as well, feminine. And then he's doing second person dual, which is he's doing antuma for masculine, and feminine is same. Then he's doing a plural, which is whom. Again, if you put in the scale and the website I sent you should get everything. And this is hunna. Hunna. And here is antum. Antum. I think and this is nahnu. So what he's done here is first he does third person singular, then second person singular, then first person singular, then he goes to dual, then he starts with third person again. So he does third person dual, second person dual, then he goes to first person. No, there's no first person dual. Then he goes to third person plural, masculine, third person plural feminine, and then he goes to the first person. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly do a couple of them. You could, do yourself. Ana ahmarru, nahnu nahmarru, nahnu nahmarru, anta tahmarru, anta tahmarru, wherever that is, anta tahmarru, which is probably at the top somewhere. Yeah, anta tahmarru, antuma tahmarrani, antum tahmarruna. Antuma tahmarrani for feminine. Yeah, so you can work. Yeah, it's. I think if it doesn't make sense, do let me know. But I think you just need to be a practice, and you'll know. And one thing you notice is Yusuf, which is majzoom, sukoon. The last letter has a kasra. Sorry, the last letter has sukoon, so it's written separately. Yahmarir. And when you write it separately, the first of the two double letters will have a kasra. Right, in active, yahmarir, tahmarir, tahmarir, for example. Any questions?
Sir,
Yeah.
ahmarar means to become red. So
Yes.
same pattern will be applicable for all colors.
Yeah, mostly like for example, white is to become white ibyadda, so yabyaddu. So yeah, not all colors have this scale, but it's mostly like it will be on this scale. Yes, when a verb comes for the colors or defect. But you become when you look at vocabulary, you become more clear. So so for example, some colors I think buniyun, for example, which I think means brown. It's a different sort of, perhaps doesn't come on this scale, but I think with practice it becomes second nature. But this verb is specific for colors and defects. The imperative is ihmarir, ihmarra, dual, ihmarru, plural. Ihmarri for feminine, ihmarra for dual for feminine, and ihmarirna. Okay, which is muhmarrun. So active participle is ism fa'il is muhmarrun, and ism maf'ul here it says it's not used, and passive tenses not used for this verb. So this makes it easy for you. All you have is the active. So I will explain the rule to you. The number 2. When the final letters are spoken, so I've already explained the rule to you and explained. So we move on to part B. And the next, when the final letter is voweled, the 2 letters are. What is it? Is not a full. Okay. Form 9. What form we done here? What form was this? Oh yes, this is the form. Form is used for color defects, and therefore corresponding adjectives will be found in chapter 11. So it's telling you, the verbs which is made from, if you go to chapter 9, chapter 11, you find verbs like aswadu, which will fit on this verb scale. Iswadda, to become black. Iswadda yaswadu, or ibyadda yabyaddu, and so forth. Form 11 is rarely used except in poetry. So it doesn't cover it here, so we don't need to worry about that, to be honest, for time being. Moving on to form 10. So this is extremely common form. What's the rule in this? Again, you add alif in the passive and you add sin. The rule here is you add sin and ta. These are the additional letters. So you add. What rule? Rule is you add alif, then sin and ta. Okay. For example, so what has become? Istaf'ala yastaf'alu. So أنا استحسنت, نحن استحسنا, أنت استحسنت, أنتما استحسنتما, and so forth. Mudare is أنا أستحسن, أستفعل, أستحسن, نحن نستحسن, أنت تستحسن, أنتما تستحسنان, أنتم تستحسنون, أنت تستحسنين, and so forth. This will be, okay. This will be a mouthful because the last radical of is this verb is from which? What are the root letters here? Farhana?
Yes, sir.
What are the root letters here, do you think?
Ha, Sin, and Nun.
What are the letters?
Ha, Sin, and Nun. Hasana.
Ha, Sin, and Nun, yes. So, and Hasanun, what did Hasanun mean?
Good.
Or was?
Yes, sir.
Handsome, chapter 2, you should remember. Okay, the meaning pattern. So again, how do you form, what's the verbal line? Istihsanun. So the form line was ihmirarun. This is the verbal line. Istihsanun. The imperative is istahsin. Istahsin. Okay, anta istahsin. Anti istahsani. Istahsini, yes. Istahsini, yes. Anti istahsini. Ism fa'il is mustahsinun. Ism maf'ul is mustahsanun. So mustahsinun fa'il and is. Why is it doing here? Ism fa'il and ism maf'ul. And this have passive tuhsinu and yustuhsanu. So these common meaning patterns is first one, and perhaps I think most quite it is very common, is the first one is to desire or ask for oneself the action or state of the root verb. So for example, hadara means to attend. Istahdara, you ask for the attendance. You ask for the attendance. Or what we say in English to someone. Istahdara. Alima means to know. Ista'lama means to ask for information, to inquire about. Azina means to ask for permission. No, sorry. Azina means to permit somebody. Ista'zana means to ask for permission. And bracket says to ask to leave or depart. Ghafara means to forgive. Istaghfara, to ask forgiveness. So me for a long time, the way I used to remember this verb meaning pattern is simply think of istaghfara. We're asking Allah for forgiveness, right? Ghafara means to forgive. Istaghfara, to ask for forgiveness. Okay, equally common in this is the estimative significance. So what does it mean? It means that you estimate it to be as such of the root from the root letter. And this is, he says, usually is intransitive. So it doesn't require an object. So hasuna means to be beautiful. Istahsana, to find beautiful, to consider preferable. Abuha means to be ugly. Istaqbaha means to find ugly, to loathe. Qadama, or it could another mini pattern, which is I think probably less common, is causative. Qadama means to serve. Istakhda means to employ someone, so causing them to serve. Shahida means to witness. Istashhada, to call to witness, right? Because you've been cause of them witnessing, because you are calling them to witness. And then he says it's rich in various extensions of the meaning from the root which cannot be classified. For example, amila means to do. Ista'mala, right? Amila, to do. Ista'mala means to use. So this doesn't necessarily fit under a meaning pattern. Haqqa means to become, to be or become true or certain. Istahaqqa means to deserve or merit. So these words you will know from dictionary, and they don't really fall into a fixed meaning pattern. Qabila means to receive, accept. Istaqbala means to welcome or receive a person. We'll move on to the vocabulary. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, the first one is al-mustaqbalu, the future. Ra'yun, ara'un, opinion. Waqi'atun. So see, some of these words are obviously, if you know Urdu, some of these words are just Urdu. So waqi'atun, event. Waqa'i'u is broken plural, events. Qalamu rasasin means pencil. Wataniyun, national, nationalist. Rasama yarsumu, to draw, sketch. Rasmun, sketch, drawing. Rasmiyun, official. Udwun or a'da'un, broken plural, member. Kumbalatun means bomb. Qanabilu is broken plural. Zarriyun means atomic. Al-Yabanu, Japan. Yabaniyun means Japanese. Rusiya means Russia. Rusiyun means Russian. Or broken plural, Rusun. Inglaterra means England. America or America means America, obviously. Amerikiyun, American. Didda means is a preposition, he says. It means against. So the word after Didda will be genitive. Or Rubba, or Europe, or Rubba. So if you write with waw or without waw, Qanunun, Qawaninu is broken plural. Sha'nun, Shu'unun, matter of a, Ri'asatun, leadership, chairmanship, presidency. Farisun means host, man, knight, and it's broken plural for Sanun or Fawarisu. Qissatun, again another Urdu word. This Arabic word is taken in Urdu, used in Urdu as well. Qissatun means story, broken plural, Qissasun. Suratun means picture. Suwarun is broken plural, Asahafatu, the press, newspapers. The fa and amma is as for, means as for. The rudiyun, necessary. So one thing to remember is, obviously, if you find any words which are, we use in Urdu, you know that Urdu copied from Arabic, not the other way around. Istafhama, to inquire. Again, fahima means to understand. Istafhama means to inquire. So that it kind of falls into which pattern would you fall to into, Farhana?
Yes, sir.
Which of the patterns we covered do you think this falls into? Istafhama?
Istafhama is the form just now we did. It's seen 11.
No, yes, it's 11, but no, number is form 10, but which pattern would you fall into? Would you fall into asking for something? Would you fall into estimative meaning? Would you fall into positive meaning? Did you understand what I'm saying?
Means no, sir, I didn't get.
Istafhama means to inquire. What does the root form mean? Form 1 mean? Well, do you have form 1 for it? Fahima yafhamu, what does that mean?
Faham, to understand.
This means istafhama, to inquire. So what do you think it's what pattern it falls into? So if
No,
you go
sir, I
to,
don't get.
if you go here, we said that when what we're doing here, what's the meaning pattern? What does it mean? It means when you change from first form, when you add these additional letters, how does the meaning change, right? So
Yes, sir.
we discussed this. So what I'm asking you is the meaning change from fahima, to understand, to inquire. I'm asking you, what do you think, where does it fall? Does it fall in the A, B, like, you understand?
A.
Yes, A. Because it's you're asking to understand, to be able to understand. Okay. Istaqbala, to receive, entertain. We mentioned that these will fall under the meaning pattern. Istakhdama, which we already said it's causative. Istamala, to use. Istahsana, to approve, think of, best, admire. What do you think this is?
Yes, sir.
What? Yeah. Do you think this is A, B? What do you think this is? Asking for something. This is estimative.
Wait, I'm checking to approve.
What are you checking? Farhana, look.
No, sir, no.
You know,
But I know it's not A.
Yes, it's second. It's estimated. You estimate it to be good. So that's why it means to approve, think, best, admire, because you consider it to be good. Estimative meaning. Form part B. Istakbara, to consider great. This is again B, because you are considering something. It's estimative meaning. You're not asking something. You are considering it great. Ista'jala, to hasten, to be in hurry. Ista'lama, to ask anyone for information about something. This is obviously A, because you're asking for something. Because these go through everything we do, go through the meaning pattern, because they will help you when you're reading Arabic. And in the book, for example, if he mentions one of these forms, and you know the root form from the context, you should be able to work at the meaning a lot of the times. So it's very useful. Let's quickly do some exercises. So question 1, نظر الملك إحرار ابنته حينما قابلت الأميرة الأجنبية.
Yes, sir. Nadara al-Malikul al-Ahmara. The
إحمرار.
Red King. Ahmarara. The Red
No,
King.
has the Red King.
Because okay, sorry. The king looked at his red daughter when
No, إحمرار. What does إحمرار is? It's the verbal noun. So what does إحمر يحمر mean? To turn red.
okay.
What does verbal noun mean?
The so the king turned red.
No.
No.
The king saw.
The king
means
saw his daughter.
Okay, listen. إحمرار means to turn red. إحمر يحمر means to turn red. إحمرار means turning red.
Yes, sir.
So literally, it would mean the king saw, and first, the reason why it has one, it has a he has one fatha that shows that it's a mudaf. Ibnatihi is mudaf ilayhi. Look, why does ibnati has kasra? Because it's mudaf ilayhi. So it's mudaf ilayhi. So the king saw or looked at turning red of her daughter. So he saw her daughter turning red. So the king saw literally turning red of her daughter. Hinama, what does that mean?
When?
Do the rest.
When Kabalti is to meet each other, right, sir?
Yes.
Kabalti, when her daughter met the prince, the unknown or the foreign prince.
Yeah. So the king saw her. So when somebody turns red, in English we call it blushing. No, but so the king saw blushing, her daughter blushing or blushing over. Okay, but literally it will be basically the king saw the turning of turning red of her daughter. So you have to look at it and look at the grammar. If grammar is linked to ibnatihi, not king. And ihmarra means to turn red. Ihmararun means turning red. Ibyadda wajhul farisi lamma aqbal al-a'da'u alayhi.
But the visual Pharisee, the white face
No,
of the
this. Why white face? Why we did then? You know, what does the verbs mean of form 9? To become red. To that's what it means. Or to become
Okay, okay.
black. It doesn't mean, you know. It doesn't mean the color. It's not a
Okay,
noun. It's a verb.
The face turned white of, is it right, sir?
Yes, the face.
The face turned white of fancy. The night,
Yes, no, Paris is night. Yes.
okay, when
Start again from when.
Akbala. So what is Akbala? Akbala.
See, this is again comes to previous chapters. It's a vocabulary from previous chapter. Akbala means to approach. Come near, approach. Yes.
When the enemies approach
Him.
him.
So again, what does full sentence mean?
The night, the face of the night turned white when the enemies approached him.
Yes. Basically, he's got scared, right? Number 3, لا تحمرر يا ولد.
لا تحمل يا ولدي إني لا
So
Oh, no.
you should know what the verb means.
Don't become red. Oh
Okay.
boy. Indeed. Indeed, I will not speak. Your father, I will not speak to your father about us. No, I will not speak about what you did yesterday.
Yes. That's fine. Number 4, you could do yourself, I think. Number 5, you want to try it before we move on to the next exercise? نستحسن أن يحضر كل الأعداء الجدد ليسمعوا كلام الروسي والأمريكي عن هذه الشؤون المهمة.
Number 5. Nastahsinu. It is
To consider best, to admire, like to consider
it
best.
is it is considered that it is considered best that
No, why is it is nastahsinu.
we
It's not-
considered
Yes,
we considered it best. We considered the best, right, sir?
we consider it best.
We consider it best that
Or we think it's best, yeah.
all
Or
the
the word
members,
means, yeah, all the members, yes.
all the members present
Okay.
all the new members present
Attend.
listen.
We consider best, we think best that all the members, new members attend.
All the new members attended
Not
attend DSMO to listen kalam, to listen to the speech, to listen words, kalam,
speech, yes.
listen speech of Russia,
Of the Russian and the American.
Russian and American about this important matter.
No. This is basic stuff.
About this till about this, it's right, sir. About
Why is hazihi? Why you use hazihi? You haven't memorized vocabulary too well, to be honest. What does hazihi mean? Like, why do you use hazihi here? No, hada.
Because the countries are considered feminine.
But here, it's got nothing to do with country. It's not talking about country. It's talking about shu'un and muhimma.
Broken plural.
Exactly. So you need to understand grammar, everything written. You need to understand reason. There's a reason for everything. So here, what's singular for shu'un?
Don't know, sir.
It's sha'nun. Shu'un. We learned like 2-3 chapters ago. So if you don't know the meaning, it's a struggle. And then also muhimma is feminine because of it's broken plural, and hadhihi is feminine because of that. So these important matters, not important. These important matter. These important matters.
These important matters.
So let's this exercise 44. Number exercise 44. Question 1.
Yes, sir.
Let's
What
do one
have
second.
you?
1 second. Yeah, okay. Number 1, what have you done, girl? Why did you blush? In the brackets tell you what does blush mean. Become red.
What have you done is Aza Falti.
Yeah.
Why did you blush? Limaza Ahmara Ihmara.
إحمر.
Ihmara Limaza Ahmara.
وفمن أنت إحمررتي. لماذا إحمررتي?
Ihmara.
The garden will become green in the summer after the rain of spring. You remember how to say green?
Akhdara is green.
Yes. So so the verb will be إخضر يخضر.
Ikhdara. Albustanu sa ikhdara
إخضر is past, so it's going to be إخضر يخضر.
yakhtaru. Albustanu yakhtaru fi al fi al-fasli
الفصل.
al-sayfi.
Okay. So it's gonna be you could either say a safety without fasl, but if you want to be fasl, I believe it's gonna be mudaf and mudaf lay. So it's gonna be, you could say
Sayfi.
firstly Rabbi Saifi.
Firstly sayfi.
Or you could just say Saifi if you want. Yeah. Bada.
Bada al-matru. Bada al-matri.
Okay, carry on.
Matri. Bada matri al-rabi.
Okay. So so tell me, you said Bada. What's after that?
Matru. Bada matri. Bada matari. Matari is ring.
You don't have you haven't memorized your vocab from
No, sir.
It's not good at all.
So the words are very close to each other. That makes me confused. Like,
By now you should know. It shouldn't be any confusion. There's no confusion. It's,
now I'm getting confused between matar and airport and rain.
and you even it's matrun, and the broken plural is amtari, because here we need to. It says rains amtari. Bada amtaril rabi'i, rains of mudaf and mudaf ilayhi. Now how do you write rabi?
Yes, sir.
How do you what do you say? Amtarir.
Amtari Rabi. Rabi.
Okay, you need to memorize your vocab. I'm gonna next time. I don't want you to get anything wrong. Ba'da amtar rabi'i, because the way it works is if you don't know the vocab, if you learn the grammar, you're gonna struggle. Regardless if you know the grammar. There's two components, important components: knowing the rules, and then knowing the vocab. They are both important, because if you could know all the rules, but if you don't know any vocab, you will not know anything. And likewise, if you know all the words but you don't know the grammar, you will struggle. I do not think much of the English press today. So istahsana yastahsinu. The verb is istahsana yastahsinu. Yeah.
La ahtasinu.
I do not think. Okay. La astahsinu.
Ahtasinu.
Astahsinu. La astahsinu.
Kasiran.
Okay.
Al-Ingliziyati. The English press. So what is press?
الصحافة. The press الصحافة الإنجليزية اليوم. You could say لا أستحسن الصحافة الإنجليزية اليوم, or you could say لا أستحسن الصحافة الإنجليزية اليوم.
Okay, sir.
Okay, that's all from me then. If you have any questions, let me know. Yeah, I think vocabulary you need to know, like, you don't need to have estimated meaning, but you need to know matarun, amtarun, the other words which you wasn't too sure about either. So it's something you need to look into. And this, I want you to, for the last chapter and this chapter, and I will ask you which verbs to read. I need you to know the scales very well.
Okay, sir.
For this chapter and the last chapter, because last chapter we didn't do too well this today. Okay, inshallah. That's
Yes.
all from me. And now it's the homework and exercises. How are you getting on with the book?
The Qissatul Nabi.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Very nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice way of learning.